real quick? Oh, that's great. How many of you here have started something or is going to start something? Oh, everybody's gonna start something. Okay, cool. You guys are all gonna need me. If you're targeting millennials, you're gonna need me because I sell eyeballs. That's what the business is. So I started this business 3 years ago. We turned 3 like last November. And I started this business because I was working in Singapore for a couple of years, and then I was trying to sell this product to e-commerce business. It's an email personalization software. And what happened was a lot of my customers came to me and said, like, "When I don't have enough customers. Like, I know you want to retarget new customers, but I don't have any. I don't have any customers for you to target. Like, we're having troubles getting eyeballs to the e-commerce portals. And I'm talking about big portals like Zalora, Sephora Digital. I'm talking about big like Zola. These are huge e-commerce portals, and they're having traffic problems to their website, which is why I started SushiVid. I was sitting in the MRT that day, and I was like, "Where's all the traffic? Everybody's on their phone, right? Everybody is on their phone, and where's all the traffic?" So I looked around me. Everybody was either playing games, or they were WhatsApping their friends, or they were on social media, Facebook, watching Korean drama on YouTube, right? So I came up with this business that is on multiple social media portals. Okay, so I briefly go through that. Okay, so my business is a database. So I have a database of over 7,000 social media influencers. Any of you have kids? How many of them do you pacify watching YouTube? Right? And how many of you are guilty also because your children will tell you like, "Daddy, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up." So many kids these days say that when they grow up, they want to be a YouTuber. And so many kids are, enabled today. They're enabled to be YouTubers. So some of the languages of the influencers that we have, so we're in Southeast Asia. We have 7,000 influencers across this region and across multiple categories and age groups also. And breakdown by country. So I started the business in Malaysia because it's cheaper. I'm going to be realistic. It's just much cheaper here than Singapore, where I was. And also because our government supports, okay, sorry, I should have said that one first. The government supports startups. And then, of course, also because this is home ground for me, I'm Malaysian, and I love my country, and if there is anything I can do that will make the country proud, I'll start here. Because what's the glorious life in Singapore? Right? So Indonesia, Singapore, and Philippines is the other countries that we have influencers in, but my customers are not from these countries. My customers are from Japan, China, the US, and they are using my portal because they're bringing their products to Southeast Asia. So we break down our influencers to micro. These are really small, like below 30,000 followers. That's small, I have 1,000, I'm struggling to keep them. This 30,000 is micro. Okay, so mid-tiers are like 70,000 followers on Instagram or YouTube or whatever other portals you are. Anybody heard of TikTok? Gosh, see, it's a new one out of nowhere. It started last year in Malaysia. Crazy. Okay, and then alphas anything above 70,000. Actually, you know what? Alphas are anything above 500,000. And of course, we have celebrities that are anything about 1 million, 2 million. It's relative to different countries. Of course, in Nigeria, 1 million is nothing. It's like, oh. My neighbor has 1 million followers. But in Malaysia, 1 million is a lot of followers, okay? So these are some of the customers that we have served in the last 4 years. Oh gosh. Okay, my favorite, I guess the one that means the most to me is definitely Lazada. So I'm very fortunate because I started my business and then I joined the Magic Accelerator program in April of 2016. And it happened, so the CEO of Lazada then was my mentor for my cohort and my team. So we got through the door really easy. So if you ask me why you want to join an accelerator, right, I would highly recommend it's because you want context. You want to go there because they have mentors and they have advisors that will take you really far after that, okay? And don't worry about the other cohorts and competition or whatever not, they won't survive. Okay, so our first product, SushiVid, helps brands to activate campaigns. So I talk so much about influencers. What I do is I sell eyeballs, right? So if you have a business and you need millennials to know about it or to buy it, to download your app or whatever it is,
you would activate a campaign here. So it's like Job Street, right? I don't know how many of you knows Job Street, maybe Monster, or any job listing site. You post a job, and then people who are interested to apply for the job will apply for the job. And then you see who you like, and then you engage them. So that's essentially what the portal does. It's a marketplace, B2B, to connect brands to social media influencers for marketing campaigns. So we have a search tool, we have campaign management software. So initially when I built this, I was like, okay, we just connect them and then let them do the magic. Didn't work, okay? Because both sides are humans and they're irritating human beings that don't talk well to each other because millennials are divas. None of you are that young, right? I'm just gonna assume. So anyway, this campaign management software was built because we realized that it needed more than just a search software. And then of course we have an app. So the app is where it makes life more easy for the millennials because we need to make things really easy for them. And then we also have post-campaign analytics for our brands in case they do a campaign and they're like, oh, likes and followers, is that enough? How about clicks? And purchase maybe. We also have an agency service for some of the brands who do not want to engage the influencers by themselves. They will call me and like, when you do everything, this is my budgeting. So we then reach out to them as an agency, but we use our platform to service. So this is an event for Tech Heuer, where we engaged 4 influencers to attend the launch of the Tech Heuer at Gardens Mid Valley. So what happened is they already spent so much money on, I've got 5 minutes, everybody have 5 minutes. So they already spent a lot of money, all right, to open champagne and invite the so-and-sos to the party. And also, to have really good food and everything. So the least they could do is just engage 4 of these guys and put it online. They've already spent 100,000 maybe. What's another 10,000 to just bring 4 people and bring the event online. Right. So this is another one. Revlon also had a new product that I'm using on my face today. Revlon's Insta Filter Foundation is very good. I actually got it for free at the event, so I had to use it. Anyway, this event also engaged influencers to attend. And this one, actually, I really like this one. This is actually Meitu. Meitu is a beautifying selfie app from China. It's very famous amongst the Chinese, but for those of you who are not Chinese, obviously, you would either download an equivalent called Beauty Plus, which also belongs to Meitu, or you would do Meitu. So basically, they needed audience from non-Chinese background to get to know about their app, and they engaged SushiVid to get Malay influencers or older generation influencers to actually use the filters and encourage their users to download. So in the end, I think for this campaign, we got over 2,000 app downloads for less than $5,000 US. So that's Red Bull. Red Bull is getting a lot of competition from all the vitamin water and Gatorade and every other energy drink out there, and they were getting a bit boring. So those are boxing people who are drinking, nobody else. So they were like, okay, we need to re-engage the audience and tell them that, hey, if you're having exams soon, which all of you will be, you should drink Red Bull. Yeah, so that's Meitu. Faith. So this one was quite a challenge for us because we were not really sure we wanted to do campaigns with the users holding the phone like this. It's so fake. But it worked. They were really happy. They actually gave us a testimonial after that. Where's the testimonial? Oh, it's gone. Anyway, they gave us a testimonial for this, which actually says around the lines of they were really satisfied, they had very good sales, and we actually got them a lot of app downloads for this campaign for only 10,000 ringgit. We had 100 influencers to do a post each. I'm going to skip that. Okay, this is our second product. So after I created the first product, if you think one product's enough and one feature is enough to sell an MVP, after 3 years you'll realize that you need 15 other products. You just have to keep trying. So for me, it's I started with SushiVid, and then I had to do the enterprise model, and then I went on to build Goshella, and I am building another 2 portals that helps influencers and brands. The reason is because there are many ways to slice the cake, and we don't really know which one's going to work. Right? So if you are going to set up a tech product and you want to sell a tech product, you need a tech team to help you so that you can iterate really fast. So this is our second out of 4 products. And basically, we use the same asset pool, which is our influencers, but instead of them making the content for you, and instead of them making the content and promoting for you, you have your banners, you just put it on our platform. It's like a Facebook, almost a touch and go. You put 100 ringgit, you top it up, and then after you finish spending, you top up again. So every influencer will share your content for like as low as 3 ringgit per share on their Twitter or their Facebook or whatever it is. They're staring at me, I'm pressured. So this is really simple. You just fill out a form, put in your banners, and then they'll start sharing. You'll get the results, how many likes, comments, and views. And that's it. Basically, we have two products. It's a self-serve platform or an agency model or a per share. You top up 100 ringgit and you finish it. So that's the journey of my startup. That's my number if you guys need me. But that's my sales pitch. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do the sales pitch or the investor pitch. But I guess I can wait for you guys to ask me questions.
Well, first, thank you very much. Thank you. Diego literally got the mic in advance. He was like, I'm not going down this time. You didn't get this.
Yeah, at the same time. Hello, YuhWen. I'm Diego from Brazil. Thank you for the presentation, very engaging. I'm wondering, if you are not afraid of being bypassed by marketing executives and marketing teams as the companies develop and get more aware of all this buzz of influencers and all?
It's inevitable for any marketplace business that people will go direct. Okay, even Groupon, when they started, right, it's like, okay, you go the first time to the spa with that voucher, the next time the person at the spa will tell you like, hey, next time you don't need to use the voucher, you just come in and I give you the same price. Even Groupon faced that, right? So the larger thing is that I'm not going to punish all my potential customers because of the few sour grapes, right? The few people that will hurt me, I'm just going to ignore them because I think people inherently are good. People are good and they're kind. And if you provide value to their life, they will spend with you. Even if it means just 25%. I think a lot of my customers, they really enjoy the software that they cannot otherwise have. Or they really enjoy the reporting. Or just being able to call somebody to school, right? When the campaign didn't go as they want. So after 2 times, they will usually, first time they go, right? Next month they'll come back.
I'm going to just really build on that. My sense is that, I love this by the way, I think it's really fascinating. My sense is, for that executive at Revlon, getting influencers in the Malaysia market, that seems like a total pain in their neck. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, YuhWen comes and solves their problem. They're like, give me more of that.
Yeah.
Like, it would very much surprise me if, I bet it's hard to probably land each contract, but once the campaigns work, that solves that executive problem. They can spend time with their children and wherever they are with them.
Yeah, and also because of our database, right? We have a strong database and we are aware of our influences.
Yeah.
So if you were to do it yourself, you face the risk of like them not picking up the phone or you don't know how to do it. But if you do it with us, and we've done it again and again and again, we'll know who to engage that will give you the results that you want.
Okay, Connor.
Hi Connor, who's Connor?
I'm Jack. Really like it. I think the influencer marketing space is really interesting. I bet it's like a $5 or $10 billion market, but I was also reading like there's a ton of these different kind of influencer marketing platforms in Southeast Asia, Asia, Gen8, Hip Asia, Casting, like there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
So what makes yours, I guess, like different than the other ones? And then the second question is, was also reading an article today about how a lot of these most popular influencers are starting to build their own brands. So like I kind of look at it as that's an evolution of these big brands initially were using these influencers to promote their brands, but these influencers are now realizing like, I have a lot of power, I have a voice, I want to start building my own brand. And just wondering if you're seeing that as a trend too.
Okay, so the first question, what's the USP of my business? I think genuinely it lies in the data, right? So if somebody else has started a platform today, they wouldn't necessarily have the same amount of experience like us. We've done over 4,000 branded contents since we started. And it's managed by 3 people, really. 3 people doing 4,000 branded contents, that's a lot. And we've put in processes in place, right? We've got good relationship with the influencers, and we have data. So every campaign that we've done, we've stored all the data in our platform. So over time, I'll be able to say, like in a bell curve, right? I'll be able to say, this influencer outperformed people in her average, or this influencer is overpriced relative to other people in her average. So I do have that kind of data, and it comes over time with more and more sales that I do, more transactions that I do. The second question you had was the trend about building their own brands. I absolutely love it. I used to be an aspiring actress back in 2012, and it was really hard to be an actress then because YouTube was barely just starting in Malaysia, right? And I used to have to go casting every day, like on my own. I'll drive to this place and go there and take a picture and say a sentence, and they'll see whether they want to take me, right? And now, if the influencers are able to build their own brands, that's a huge jump from where I was as a creator, right? So we started with branded sponsorships, and then over time, they now can do their own brands. I think that's great, and it's something that I guess, if you look at Kim Kardashian, if she can do it, right? Kylie Jenner, and all these people, they're all selling online like hotcakes, like launched now, out in 1 minute, right? In China, it's the same. But except my only question for Malaysia is I don't think they have the same kind of influence. I mean, just by sheer population size, we just don't have that same influence here. Maybe Indonesia, maybe Philippines, we do. Yeah.
So I was thinking, you mentioned you rate kind of influencers also based on their popularity, like 70,000 followers and so on. Do you also think about, or if you already do, how to match your clients, aka companies, with influencers based on what they want? So if it's not just a product feature, if it's a bit deeper to more social media analytics, you also think about which influencers to match with your clients based on their capabilities.
Okay, I think for starts, there is a lot of ways to classify an influencer, right? So what we did in our company is we actually leverage on artificial intelligence. In particular, the one for AWS. We try to check everything, right? For example, if I'm looking for a beauty influencer, I have to go into details of whether they have dry skin, acne skin, they have big eyes, are they wearing spectacles, do they have braces on, do they have thick lips, did they do plastic surgery? And skin tone, right? There's a lot of different beauty categories that I have to go for, and we try our best to categorize all these features, and then from there we form an average, and then we build a pool size for that. So if just say you go to my portal today, you should be able to look, just say for like thick lips, you should be able to find some influencers based on categories as specific as that. So of course there are also influencers by occupation. So some brands, they want to like work with dentists or doctors or lawyers or people who are professionals. In that instance, we actually make the influencers fill out a form, like when they join the platform, like what's your occupation. And so of course we also have influencers by hobbies. So for example, if you're looking specifically for horse riders or golf enthusiasts or fishing enthusiasts, if there is such an influencer, it should show up if they filled it up. Yeah, so we do try to match, but so the most basic one is of course the search, right, where we make them fill out a form when they sign up, right? The next step is actually to go through all their hashtags and all their captions and all their descriptions, whichever platform it is, to form like assumptions about them, just based on their comments. What were the things that they said? What was in the caption? What was the location they were at? Was it a restaurant? What was in the picture? Is it food? Is it scenery? Is it traveling? What is it? What's in the picture? So we do capture all that data, and eventually we'll be able to share it. Yeah.
I'm going to take one more. I know there are tons of questions, and hopefully you can stay a little, hopefully like a little bit after this, just because I know there's more questions on the way of time. I'm going to ask you one, just because it relates to something we'll do in a few days. Which was it? When you at founding, was it harder to get influencers to fill out that form, or was it harder to get the Revlons and Levadas of the world to buy into the model you were selling?
Okay, so it's a bit unfair for that question because I was already a working person before. and I was selling to a lot of e-commerce portals.
Okay.
So of course I targeted my low-hanging fruits, which is my existing previous clients before from my previous jobs. So getting the Revlons and the Watsons and whatnot was easy because I already had existing customers before, you know, people whom I've already worked with. Getting the influencers was also pretty okay. What I did was I went into YouTube, I looked at every one of them, I sent them a private message, 100 of them actually, and then I validated my idea with all of them first, either through a phone interview or I met them. One influencer invited me to his house. I freaked out. But I went anyway because he's got like 500,000 subscribers, so I assumed that he would do anything. But anyway, so I actually made like a set of interview questions and I quantified all my questions and then I asked them all the same set of 10 questions. And at the end of that, I'm like, okay, I think I have enough confidence that this product will work.
Okay, that was amazing. The reason it was easy was you did the right thing, and that was a really good. Like, I mean, that is what those personas we talked about. That kind of learning that you can do in a relatively short amount of time. That's what
Yeah,
that looks like.
you definitely have to validate first. Before putting in any tech dollars, you should interview some of the potential users to figure out.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.